How does NASA organize a party? They plan it. Get it? Plan it like Mercury, Venus, Mars. Today we're going to look at some paired passage questions with a different type of party. And for paired passage questions, you want to keep a number of things in mind. One is, it's a good idea to look at the line references first and narrow it down. Then you could get both questions correct. But sometimes you'll find that there's more than one line reference that will legitimately answer the question. How do you know which one's going to be the correct answer then? Correct answer's got to have a match. In other cases, you might say, oh, I remember the answer to this question, and you might be thinking that more than one answer fits. Well, the correct answer's got to have a match with the answer after. So if you read a question and you don't understand exactly what the question's asking, look for a pair that match, and that's most likely to be your correct answer. But here's the kicker. Once in a while, you'll get more than one match. If you have more than one match, then one of those matches is not directly answering the question. Today, we're going to look at Test 5, Section 1, Numbers 4 and 5. And number 4 reads, Limey's primary impression of the party of 4 is that they what? So we go up to the party of 4 in line 42. Notice it's in the beginning of the paragraph, just before he's talking about his book, and then it says a party of 4. It's the first mention of the party of 4, so you know the answer's got to be after. And so when we go to the line references, all of the line references are after. But you do want to check for something like that, because oftentimes there will be answer choices that might be mentioned before in the line references. So we've got the party of 4 mentioned here. 2 men and 2 women came into a restaurant all talking at once and took possession of the center table nearest Limey. The women had shingled hair and short, tight skirts, which exposed the underside of their knees when they sat down. One of the women had the face of a young boy, but disguised by one trick or another: rouge, lipstick, powder, wet bangs plastered against the high forehead, and a pair of long pendant earrings to look like a woman of 35, which, as a matter of fact, she was. The men were older. They laughed more than there seemed any occasion for, while they were deciding between soup and shrimp cocktail, and their laughter was too loud. But it was the women's voices, the terrible, not quite sober pitch of the women's voices, which caused Limey to skip over 2 whole pages without knowing what was on them. Fortunately, he realized this and went back. Otherwise, he might never have known about the secret treaty concluded between England, France, and Austria, when the pretensions of Prussia and Russia acting in concert seemed to threaten a renewal of the attack, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we've certainly read enough lines. I highlighted a piece of information. What's his impression about the party of 4? Well, there's a number of things going on here, so you do want to make some predictions. It might be the woman looks like a boy, kind of insulting, and she's trying to look more like a woman of 35. The men, they seem to laugh louder than there seems any occasion for. It could be any one of those things. So that's why you might look at your line references and say, hey, there's more than one that could work here. Now notice in those lines, it did say that he had to go back and read his book. So it sounds like noisy and distracting. It said that the women's voices were loud and he had to go back and read his book. And let's see if there's a match for those lines. So we've got, that looks like 57, 58, 59. And from 57, 58, 59, actually beginning in 55, it looks like this is a good match here. Let's investigate the other answer choices though. A refreshing change from the other customers. He doesn't mention anything like that. Why did I even highlight those lines? It's because it's how they are affecting him. He is describing them in particular, but it's how they're affecting him and what he's doing there. Answer choice C, resemble characters from his history book. He doesn't say that this guy looks like Talleyrand and this guy looks like the other. Represent glamour and youth. When he says the girl looks like a little boy, doesn't sound so glamorous. Now the line references, We could even work from the line references. If we saw these first, we could work backwards and see what we'd be looking for a match. So if it were 45 to 47, that's right here. The women had shingled hair and short, tight skirts, which exposed the underside of their knees when they sat down. It might be that they are scandalous. Now, you got to keep in mind the time frame here. This is originally published. The copyright is actually 1959, originally published in 1945. For 1945, it'd be scandalous, probably. Like, it'd be like a super mini skirt today if women are exposing the underside of their knees. So we might say, oh, the women are dressed like scandalously, but we don't see a match for number 4 there. 47 to 52, that's right here, starting here and ending here. One of the women had the face of a young boy, but disguised by one trick or another: rouge, lipstick, powder, wet bangs, plastered against a high forehead, and a pair of long pendant earrings. Looked like a woman of 35, which, as a matter of fact, she was. It sounds like, yeah, there. She looks like a young boy, but she's actually a woman. And again, we don't get any match up here that works there. And then in line 69, let's see why that's wrong. Line 69 is all the way over here. Limey closed the book and said, I didn't think you were coming. And that's not, or Limey just closed the book. Yeah, Limey closed the book is the whole line reference there. That has nothing to do with the party of 4. Hopefully that was most easily eliminated. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these paired questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.